Over the 18 years of TF2 we had quite a lot of interesting and sometimes weird game modes and mods, and while many of them were one-hit wonders, there lies an underground community of very dedicated players that took TF2's least played game mode and turned it into one of the most insane competitive esports I've ever seen.
Feel like I'm at the tippy top of my game, looking down at the rafters. I had to sun these boys, can't leave them bastards. A lot of dudes, just some undercover actors. I don't fall for it, I'm privy to all your tactics. Yeah, so try again, this time take a vitamin.
The pastime we know has a neutral ball called a jack, which spawns near the center of the map, which players must take and successfully score in one of the opposing team's goals. By default, the scoring limit is 5 and then the team that first reaches this limit wins. Otherwise, the team with the most points wins when the time runs out. It was released back in 2015, and while it first looked promising, it was very suddenly turned down by the community and shortly became one of the least played game modes. Regardless of its humiliating player count, the TF2 community did what it does best: picked it up, cleaned it up, and turned Passtime into a competitive 4v4 game mode that focused more on fast-paced and skillful gameplay when compared to its casual counterpart. The maps challenged the teams to use their mechanical skills like rocket jumping, trimping, airshotting, surfing, as well as solid teamwork and communication in order to win. The community decided to take a different approach to the common ways of whitelisting items and allowed what they thought was fun instead of banning what they thought was unfun. So even though you may not be able to abuse the power of direct hit, you can use your splendid screen to do a quick trimp into a Ulapul Caber explosive jump and get a 6 score. In addition, for a team of 4, there are class limits of 3 soldiers, 1 medic, and 1 demoman, with 3 soldiers and 1 demoman being picked most of the time. 4 vs 4 Passtime has one of the most restricted whitelist of any competitive game mode, but that restriction breeds more creativity that you could find anywhere else. I think this way of play is quite similar to b-ball. Another community-created game mode that is very old, but the Passtime version has much more variety and creativity, as well as communication required to make the best out of it. Now let's take a look at what the players are most often running on each class, to get a better sense of the arsenal you can expect from your teammates and opponents. Maggots! With Soldier, it's pretty much set in stone that using the stock rocket launcher or the original end gunboats is a must. To quote Nike, who greatly helped me by answering a ton of questions I had, basically, if you aren't running stock rockets and gunboats, you're throwing. Of course, this is referring to the times when the teams are playing seriously, but beyond that, there's a lot of fun to be had experimenting with the loadouts. That's not all that the Demoman offers though. There is a pretty funky and odd subclass called Stoic Demoman, also known as Caber Knight. The distinctive items of said subclass are the Splendid Screen and the Ulapul Caber. The Stoic playstyle name comes from how patient the player must be, because once the Demoman uses up his shield's meter, he is pretty much rendered useless until the charge is gained back. You might think this is a useless way of play, and could be considered trolling, but for the last few moments you have been looking at the insane plays it can offer, when used to its maximum potential. The Crusader's crossbow and stock medigun are the only unlocks allowed in their respective slots. However, medic has a lot of melee weapons to choose from. If you want to do a lot of melee steals, you'd go stock. When an enemy has the ball, if you melee them, it steals the ball, giving you possession of the ball as well as 2 seconds of bonk invulnerability and a speed boost. If you want to heal or give enemy health callouts instead, you'd run Amputator or Solemn Woe. But you would have a slightly harder time going for melees, since those weapons swing slower. Medics can be played in lots of ways, but the class is about min-maxing your ability to heal and pressure the enemy. Since you're inherently the weakest class in terms of scoring the ball, lots of game sense is required to ensure you're having the biggest impact you can on the game at all times. Medics can also arrow the ball to neutral it midair, but nobody hits these consistently as of yet. Passtime has a surprising amount of unofficial maps, tailored specifically for this community-driven game mode, but regardless of how good they are, the favorite one, without exception, seems to be Pass Arena 2, made by Jaguar. Now, Here are some quick facts I gathered with the help of Nike. Stickies are banned because they would let Demoman bomb the hoop at max velocity, making it overpowered. They also allow Demoman to defend the goal too easily. The Stoic Demoman subclass can be considered useful or a troll pick depending on the map and situation. The best way to start participating in Passtime is to visit passtime.tf and picking your region's Discord server, as there you can find ways to join others and start playing. There used to be a 9v9 Passtime game mode, kind of like Highlander, but it died rather quickly. Passtime may have started as a failed experiment by Valve, but the TF2 community has once again shown its ability to turn abandoned ideas into something special. By refining the rules, adjusting the meta, and embracing creativity within restrictions, competitive 4v4 Passtime has carved a unique niche in the game. With its emphasis on mechanical skill, teamwork, and high-speed plays, it stands as a testament to the community's dedication to keeping the game fresh and exciting. Whether you're an experienced TF2 player looking for a new challenge, or just someone curious about the lesser-known side of TF2, Passtime offers a fast-paced and rewarding experience. Go check it out! If you want to learn the basics of Passtime, you can find a tutorial video by Tomato Tom in the description. Other useful material will also be there. Thanks for watching, consider subscribing, and I'll see you around. Bye! Also make sure to check out some of the Fragmovies I linked in the description. They are insane, these people are freaking magicians. Thanks for watching. Again, bye!